I'm going to give more insights on period 9. Okay. So before we start, I just want to ask all of you, have you managed to shift your perspective in April? Did you all use the energy in April to help you all like gain a different side, gain a different position? Anyone? Okay, for me, April has been a great month because I've actually allowed the energy to show me what I couldn't see before. So it's like, I was really convicted to shift my perspective. I was really convicted to look at things in a different way so that I can grow faster, okay? And I took up this challenge to do one different thing every day in April. And with that, it has really shifted my perspective, especially towards how period 9 it is, how it will be, okay? So like, I just have a lot to share today. Hi, Li Guan. So please help me like and share this video, right? So that more people can benefit. And for me, it actually brings an opportunity, okay, to kickstart our period 9 energy, and especially the inspiration for period 9. Okay, so do you have anything in your mind that you want to venture into in period 9? Or do you feel that your mindset is still stuck in a way where you are still stuck in, say, period 8? Okay, do assess where are you? Where are you today? Right? Because sometimes when we are stuck, we just can't seem to go anywhere. Then when we are stuck, a lot of things that we don't see. When we don't see these things, we miss out on opportunities. That's what I realized. And that is the reason why it's like I really jump on, you know, getting myself up, aligning my perspective so that I don't miss out on things. It's more of like, you know, looking at things in a different way, because we have been so period 8, and period 9 is totally different from period 8. Period 8, things are very surface. Things are very, I would say it's more organized. It's very black and white. But when it comes period 9, this is where things turns gray. Okay, a lot of things you see, you will start to question yourself. You would wonder, is this black or is this white? Like, what's going on here? Hi, Tia, you're not late, just started. So that's what I discovered in April, okay, when I just allow the energy to sink in and show me what period 9 is about. So there were a few encounters which I was practically conflicting with my thoughts. It's like, I see these things is happening and it seemed to be good because everyone is in it. I see a lot of opportunities in it. And yet on the other side, the period 8 me is really asking me, this is too good to be true. Okay, it just can't, it's just not working. You are not seeing like the risk behind. This could be a scam and stuff like that. So a lot of things came back. And I just tell myself, okay, calm down, observe and experience what's going on so that I can understand better of how it is like, how things are happening, how the energy is changing. Okay, so today I'm going to share more on that. If you feel that your mindset is still stuck in a period 8 mindset, there are still a few days more before the May energy sink in. So use the rest of the month, the next few days, to really think, what do you see that's happening out there which is kicking in? And that is period 9. These are things that not everyone can understand, especially those who come from corporate background, those who were born in the earlier ages. So it's really hard to understand. It's really even hard to believe that it is happening and there are people who are doing such things. Okay, and these are the people who are earning big money now. So for those of you who are joining me for the first time or you're meeting me for the first time, I'm Nelly. You can call me Nell. And I'm a life transformation coach. Okay, and I've been studying or doing metaphysics since 2012, started as a self-help. And then as I discover more, I start to help other people. So in the present moment, I do conduct classes and I do have consultations and I do coaching as well. So let's jump in and just do a recap, okay? I did share that this year is a spiritual growth year. Last year was a spiritual alignment year. But I'm also aware that not everyone have reached that spiritual alignment. You're still in between, okay? And that's fine because life is a journey. Just need to keep moving, keep becoming better every other day, right? And spiritual growth, it actually means that seeing beyond good and bad. There's no good, there's no bad. Things are just what it is. And allow yourself to go with the flow so that you can expand your horizon, open up your view to see more things, to experience more things, and that will promote your growth, okay? So in 2022, in the Bazi, the year Bazi, we can see there's 2 water tiger pillars, and the imagery here is just the tiger is crossing the rapids. So it actually means the tension is on and you actually need to have a lot of courage and clarity to take on the challenge. So the best thing, the best weapon that we need this year would be grace. It's gratitude, resilience, adaptable, compassion, and endurance, okay? So let's see. Okay, and I have multiple workshops this year, so we will, I will share a bit on the workshops later, right? But let's get in, because I actually see a lot of excitement in this month's energy. We shall start with a Bazi perspective. So here we have the self, the day master that is deeply rooted in the year, month, and hour, okay? And also it is attempting to control the external environment, the circumstances, as well as the inner thoughts, okay? And we can see the self is working over here, right? While the earthly branch, they are also combining to form a strong fire, okay? And this fire, it's a strong anchor for period 9, because when we have 3 harmony combo, the resulting element is stronger, is double fold. Okay, it is not like when we have a fire and there is a fire. When we have a combo, the strength of the element multiplies. Okay, and this one we can see like there's a lot of hidden fire. It's already boiling, it's already hot. In addition to that, we have this 3 harmony combo, which is made up of the dog, the horse, and the tiger. So this really fills up, okay, the entire environment. And do expect this month to be a bit warmer in terms of the weather, okay? So when we talk about 3 harmony combination, whenever a combination happens, it indicates there are opportunities, collaboration, or partnership, or starting of something. 3 harmony indicates long-term planning. So this can be a 6 months plan. It can be between now and October, or perhaps an 8-year plan. But since we are entering into a period 9, I don't recommend having plans that's longer than 3 years. Okay, this is because period 9 holds a very volatile energy, and that is where things can really change rapidly. Okay, but nevertheless, it is beneficial to have a long-term strategy. In other words, it's like be flexible with your plan, be flexible with your goals, okay? And try different approach, because especially now period 9, the period 9 energy is getting faster. Okay, it's coming in faster. Although it is only officially in 2024, but now you can actually feel the gush that's coming in. And you can see things are really changing very fast. So if we don't have the insight in the future, if we don't have the foresight, if we are not flexible with our approach, then we will be caught in circumstances, we will be surprised. Okay, there could be things that we don't know now. Okay, it's just so gray, it is so, would say, so vague. We know there's something there, but we just don't know how to get there, or what do we need to do now and next. We just don't have the full plan. So the essence here is focus on now, what you can start now, which you can reap later. Okay, perhaps you want to start learning about the virtual world, things like NFT, the cryptocurrency. I see that as really building up very fast. Okay, or things, spiritual things, and whatever things that you want to start in period 9. Okay, start it now. If you don't know it, start learning now. Okay, but on another side over here, although the fire is strong, okay, we need to be really mindful and conscious, because there is a harm between the snake and tiger in the year and also the month. And this indicates like some emotional struggle, perhaps struggle on perceptions, where the tension between right and wrong, as now everything seems, there just doesn't seem to be 100% right or 100% wrong. Okay, it just seems so gray to us at the moment. So for this month, you would see that things may look calm on the surface, nothing seems to be boiling, everything seems to be normal. But what's happening now is the fire is coming from within. So which makes this a great month to prepare for big plans. And this is big plans, okay? So it is not a planning like, what am I going to do tomorrow? How am I going to go to work? How am I going to ask for a pay rise or a promotion? Those are small things. The big plans is your future. Okay, what is that something that you want to do which is bigger than yourself? For example, you may be unhappy at work now, and you're planning to get out, okay, to a new job or whatever, but then you're thinking like, I'm just very tired working for people. I want to start my own thing. I want to start my own business. I want to bring my talent out, okay, to say, to service other people. These are the kind of plans that you want to focus on in May, okay? So I'm not going to go through the animal signs today. Instead, I will be focusing on period 9 insights. But before we go on, just please help me like and share this session with your friends. Okay, share it to other FB groups as well, so more people can benefit from my sharing. So let's continue on. As some of you may know, I'm actually producing a series of videos on Elon Musk. Okay, but there is something which I overlook on the Twitter beat, as I was just so focused on the month July, which is a goat, and I didn't realize that the fire goat actually comes earlier than July. And I only realized this when I saw the news that he has already struck the deal with Twitter. Okay, and subsequently all the other news came. So zooming into the date, the hour. Okay, if you look at the date, this is 24th of May, and this is Fire Goat Day. So I was like, wow, amazed, because I totally missed this day. I totally missed this. Then when I saw this, it's like, I must share this with you. Because if you want to look into the hour over here, so we know the fire goat represents July as well, right? July is a fire goat month. Then if you look into the hour, it is Earth Monkey. And Earth Monkey in relation to the year, it is a fan yin. Okay, which means this is a year breaker, and it is not only breaking at the internal level, it is also breaking on the external level, which actually means that this August is going to be a game-changing month. Okay, it is going to be, I foresee it to be an exciting month to observe, right? But first, you need to remain calm. because the energy is coming in both sides on the heavenly stem as well as the earthly branch. Okay. And in addition to that, the departure chart on this day, 24th of July, at the time where the post, okay, the news came out, like it is giving us this message that whatever that Elon is doing in July, we would actually see big results in August. That's when we will start to see what he's doing with Twitter. Okay, what is he trying to do? Okay, so we can also see that on the surface, the Earth is controlling the water. So on the surface, it seems that he's trying to control the community, whatever that's going on in the social platform and so on. But internally, the tiger and monkey clash, this is a big change. Okay, so what he's bringing in here is really a big change, which I'm really excited to find out. I am very curious what he's trying to do. Okay, especially now that with Jack Dorsey in the lights. So what will be the future of Twitter and also cryptocurrency? Okay, is he going to turn his business to based on crypto, or how is it going to be? Is Twitter going to remain as Twitter, or will there be a new platform? Okay, so hang on to that. August, we will get the answer, right? So back in last month's webinar, I actually shared that April is a month to shift our perspective. Okay, and I shared earlier that 2022 is a year of I would say creation, because all the months that comes in 2022, it represents one subsequent year ahead. And 22nd of April is a replica of May. Okay, 22nd of April is a replica of May 2022. Do you remember what happened on that day to you all? Okay, do you all have this memory of what you have experienced in that day? Because it is highly probable that you will experience the same thing in May. Anyhow, if you don't like it, there is always a chance to change. Okay, you can change your experience with conscious action. But first thing, you need to know, what do you want to change? If you know what happened on that day, if you know what are the things that you don't like, okay, you don't like the outcome that you got in that day. Now just make that conscious actions to change. Change your approach. Maybe change your perspective, change your perception, change your view on things. Okay, then you will see the outcome changes, right? And subsequent days from 22nd of April, it represents, or I would say it replicates each following months in this year. So it's like in April, it actually gives us a perfect timing to reset, okay, or to rechange our perspective, to reposition ourselves to see things from a different view, so that, let's say, we can see possibilities, okay, beyond what we know today. All right. So period 9 is Li Gua. Li Gua is very volatile. It is fast-paced, and it is also risky. While period 8, it's I would say in period 8, wealth is abundance, okay, and it's apparent, and it has been depleting since 2016, when we start to experience stiffer competition and unrealistic targets, unrealistic KPI. So those who work in corporate will understand what I mean here, okay? But nevertheless, there's still people who really make it big time. Okay, this is also the period where the rich become richer while the poor becomes poorer. So where has the money gone? Okay. Elon Musk is a very good example. Between 2016 or 2015 until now, look at how fast he's growing. They look at like how much he's making, the progress that he's making, and the speed that he's going within these few years. Right? It's really incredible to see. Right? Especially it's like there was a period where he almost went bankruptcy. Okay. So from some studies, the cryptocurrency market actually shows a forecasted compound annual growth. They call it the CAGR of 11% with 800 million and building up to 900 million and beyond that. Okay, but I want to pose this question to you all. Is cryptocurrency legal? So let me know your thoughts. Type 1 if you think it is legal, and type 2 if you think it is not legal. Okay, I would like to hear from you all, because this is something which I would say I discovered, or I start to understand in April. Cryptocurrency was something which I would say I spent a bit more time in it, not a lot, but to understand how it's like, all right? And what does other people think about it? So there's one, and you think it's legal? All right, so let me share this. This is what I discovered, okay, in the course of 1 month in April. In Malaysia, it is not a legal tender. Okay, so if it's not a legal tender, then it should be illegal, right? But it is not that. It is not it is not illegal, just that the government says it's not a legal tender. So you can get into trading and investing in cryptocurrency. Okay, you can get into some sort of mining as long as you are not stealing the electricity. But yet, you can't register a company that has something to do with Bitcoin. But recently, I do hear from, and I know that there are some companies in Malaysia who is getting a license to run trading platform on Bitcoin. So if the registrar of Malaysia, okay, doesn't allow or doesn't have a leeway to allow companies who deal with Bitcoin in their description, who have a description, the company description that has this word Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, to own a license because it's not a legal tender. How did this company get the license, okay, to do their business, to trade Bitcoin? This came as a big question to me. So whether is it legal or not legal? It is not a legal tender, okay, but it is not illegal if you trade Bitcoin or crypto. However, the registrar in the Ministry of Registrar, like the moment you have a description that says Bitcoin, okay, in your company, they won't allow you to register. So how did this company who's offering the platform to trade cryptocurrency got their license from? I don't know, but, and I'm keen to know, but it seems like there's a lot of possibilities. So this is Malaysia, but in other countries, crypto is a legal tender, okay? So now, back to ourselves. Is crypto legal or illegal? What is your mind telling you? Okay, what is your intuition? your inside emotion feels about this crypto. Legal, not legal? What does it mean to you? Right? So this was a question that I tried to process in April to get to understand what's going on. And also NFT. Okay, NFT, I spoke to some people who are into NFT mining. They are buying pictures. And these pictures doesn't have any, I would say, physical assets. Okay, it is just a copy. Okay, a copy of, I would say, an image file. And these are not cheap. Okay, but there are people trading like this. There's a market value, right? So it's like, then I start to wonder, why? Okay, in my time, in period A, when we do bidding, in Malaysia, we call lelong, there is something that is tangible that people are bidding for. But now people are bidding for things that is intangible. Okay, so think about that. So Dato has shared many times, okay, that online gaming is one of the growing industry, and this is the industry that will flourish in period 9. In fact, the market research is also anchoring the same. But do we understand what it means by so-called this online gaming? Okay, but I'm sure all of you know the back-end driver of this online gaming industry is technology. Are you in any of this market? Okay, because this is where the money is. All right. So time to trigger your thoughts, to ask yourself, how much do we understand about the industry of period 9? How much, what do we see in terms of thriving in period 9? Okay, if things are changing so rapidly, the tangible is getting to be, is turning into intangible. Okay, the solid asset is turning into liquidity, right? So think about this. So let's look at let's revisit the puzzle when period 9 officially sets in, okay? You can see the direct wealth is in the year pillar, which is in DE with a 7K. So this puzzle is telling us that in order for us to have consistent income, we need to be able to take risks. While the indirect wealth, which represents the opportunity, is in the hour, and it is together with EG, eating God. And this indicates that we need to think out of the box, okay, to create the opportunity. And with IR countering the EG, it is telling us that we need to leverage on what we observe that's happening, okay, in order for us to be able to spot what opportunities are out there for us. And in turn, we also see the EG is controlling the 7K, which means we need to master the skill of risk management in order to leverage on the opportunities to convert these ideas into value. Because ideas remain ideas. If you don't have the ability to convert it into value, they are just ideas, right? However, this is the surface, right? Through our observation, we look for the opportunity and then turn those opportunity into money-making engine or into value that we can start earning from. But internally, we have a HO and we have a HO countering the DO. So in layman term, it actually means that internally we need to challenge the norm because there is this contention, black or white. This is a HO and DO clash. So you know, DO is very rigid. HO is very flexible. So it's just like both the thief and the officer is within us, which we need to fight it out. Okay, so if you wish to learn more on 10 Gods application, my workshop in August, which is called Taming the 10 Gods, this is where I go deep into the application of 10 gods. Okay, so now that we know what's ahead in period 9, or how the energy will be like, we would need to start preparing ourselves to take on such energy so that we can make a head start, okay, into period 9. So if you're interested, you can PM me. And next, let's jump on to flying stars. So if you find this information beneficial, please help me to like and share this with your friends and other happy groups so that more people can benefit. So I keep saying today, right, that May is very exciting. Okay, I'm just so excited about the energy in May and what I see that is coming in May, right? So the star in the center, it actually governs the bigger energy around, and it has a rippling effect onto everything else. So in May, we have star 8, the wealth star, entering the center, but it is meeting up with star 5, which is the Calamity Star. Okay, and traditionally, when we see star 5 with star 8, it is very much associated with big losses. But in the new age, with the rise of entrepreneurs, this may be a good sign because there is actually massive wealth amidst the danger. Okay, the question is this: do you have the courage and the skill to earn this treasure of wealth? Okay, I'm sure you all have heard of this 5 goals, carry treasure, and so on. So when we see star 5 and 8 meeting together, it is very similar to 5 goals, carry treasure. Okay, but it is not every, it is not for the faint-hearted, I will put it this way. You need to have the courage and the ability, the skill to get it, right? So let's look at the other sectors. So we can see star 1, it actually flies into the west sector, and it's a nobleman star that's meeting up with burglary star. So we have the water meeting up with metal in a metal sector. So this indicates that, you know, the nobleman that comes, it is not going to be a very nice kind of nobleman. The nobleman that comes to you, they are not givers, okay? But if you are determined to learn, this nobleman can in turn provide the value on the long run. This nobleman will be able to train you up. So generally, this sector is not an easy sector to use because it can deplete your mental energy. It requires a lot of mental strength. But if you are ready to take it on, I would say this is a sector that you can use to find noblemen that is going to slap you to wake up, right? So next we have star 2. Star 2 flies to northeast. So in northeast, I would say here we have the star 2, illness star meeting up with the wealth star 8, right? So star 2, besides being an illness star or a disease star, it also brings a replication effect. However, since both star 2 and star 8 are earth star and is meeting in the earth sector, everything else will be magnified, including the illness. But nevertheless, this is a great sector for wealth activities, provided that you pay attention to your health. And if you have elderly sleeping or spending time in the northeast sector, you want to pay more attention to their health, okay? So again, we can see the center, 5-8, there is massive wealth amidst danger. Northeast, we have 8 and 2. We can see the expansion effect, the magnifying effect. which is also related to wealth, but it all comes with, I would say, some risks that we need to handle. Okay, and it all demands the courage and speed and the resiliency and perseverance to get it. Okay, and not to mention the skill, right? Then star 3, it flies into the south. And this is where we have the argument star meeting up with the prosperity star. So on the surface, it may look negative. However, wood produces fire. So in other words, I would say in other means, it's like star 3, which is a wood star, it actually produces the future prospect, the prosperity, something that we are going to gain in the future. Okay, and it also flourishes the fire in the south. Okay, so if you are conscious about your speech and intonation, this is an energy that we can leverage, okay, to generate future gains. So it's just like sometimes we can, I'm sure you would have experienced or would have seen in the media and news on celebrity. Some celebrity have gossips and scandals, okay, but these gossips and scandals are actually the events that brought them to their fame, right? And also that is the thing that really skyrocketed them. So look at this sector in this manner. So for South, this is a sector that you want to use with care because it has a high probability of anger outbursts, as the fire energy in South this month is particularly strong. And next, we have star 4 that flies into the north. So this is the academic star meeting up with the nobleman star. This is a great sector to seek mentor and self-improvement activities. It has a special combination as well, 4+1, right? And this is a very safe sector to use. Then next, we have star 5. So star 5 flies into the southwest this month, and it's meeting up with the Lunar star. With star 2 as the host in southwest this year, it already has the replication effect. And with Calamity Star visiting the sector, it is like, this is a sector that you want to avoid this month, okay? But do not fret. Do not fret. Don't panic. Just keep the sector quiet. Use it as usual. If it is not for important activities, okay? Important activities means the sectors or the place where you used to work, study, make decisions, do your thinking. So these are the important activities. If you're sleeping there, it is not important activity. Okay. What you need to do is just be at peace with the energy. Acknowledge that star 5 is there. Acknowledge that the 5 yellow is there. Just do what it is. Okay, do what you need to do every day. Just don't increase the, I would say, don't increase the activity. Then you want to decrease, not increase. Because if you don't take action, if there's no action in this sector, there's no movement, then nothing will happen. So when it comes to 5 yellow stars, some people is like, it is not the 5 yellow that have actually caused negative things to happen to them. It is because they are so scared of 5 yellow that they make reckless mistakes. Okay, that is the thing that brought the negative events. All right. So star 5 southwest, just don't panic. It is there, it's there, it's okay. Right? So if you're really very worried that star 5 is so strong in southwest this year and so on, you can think about the metal cure, putting metal in southwest, and think about salt cure. All right. So whatever comfortable to you. Because for me, I don't suppress 5 yellow. Sometimes I do use 5 yellow. Right? So next, star 6. Star 6 flies into the east. And this is where we have the authority star that's meeting up with the argument star. So if your office workspace is located in the east, you need to be mindful of your speech. You need to remind yourself to stay calm because there's a high tendency that you may offend others due to your own ego. However, if you can manage your ego, you can actually turn this into a great negotiation sector. Brainstorming. Okay. Star 7 flies into the southeast. So here we have the burglary star meeting the academic star, and it may bring some stress. However, if you are focused, the stress can be turned into a motivation force. Okay. Last but not least, we have the star 9 that flies into the northwest, and it is meeting up with the authority star 6. So here we have a fire star meeting up with a metal star in a metal sector. So this is a great sector for you to use for planning and strategizing in preparation for future gains. That means it's a long-term planning. Okay, and over here, so we have a special combination of the flying star 6 and 9. Okay, which brings like I would say profit gains, but it's more towards the future, not immediate. Okay, so we can see the flying stars is like they have both pros and cons. When we understand the stars, we can make good use of them. Okay, let's move on to Chiman perspective. So I hope you all have capitalized on the month-long full yin energy in April to do some reflection, to readjust your perspective, and so that you can prepare for what's coming ahead. Okay, because May is a month where you need to get work started. So let's jump into each of the Destiny Palace. The theme that I've chosen for this month is mindfulness, because I see this with which I would say with such strong fire energy, our temper would be I would say there's a high probability, okay, that our temper will be stronger than ourselves. That means more prone to throwing out tantrums and so on. So we want to be mindful so that our emotions doesn't disrupt what we want to achieve. Okay, so let's start with the East. So the theme for the East is called Impartial Watchfulness. And what this really means is detachment. Okay, because in May, there's indication of communication problems where messages may seem to be blocked due to trust issues and interpretation of words. And sometimes it is not the words, it is the intonation of how we say things or how we hear things that distort the whole meaning. So you want to be mindful of your own intonation, as the tone of the voice when you speak certain words, it can actually distort the whole meaning. Okay. Not only to that, but also how we interpret messages from other people that comes into us, right? So May can actually present a period of illusion, and it actually puts, I would say it tests our ability to separate the aspects in our life so that we can see clearly in order to achieve a balance. It's just like you need to eliminate some old habits. And to do that, you need to harness on your internal transformation energy to move on. Because it has to start from within. Okay? When you detach from your perception, when you detach from the meaning which you have originally assigned and experience the unknown, you will see massive growth in May. All right, this is for Ace. So next,
something I'll go to magic out there, go buy fish or fish.
Buy fish. Someone want to buy fish. Okay, let's look at Northeast, yeah? Next. So Northeast over here, we have, we can see there's a tiger there. So the theme for Northeast, it's called the awareness of change. Okay, you will find that, you know, you'll be surrounded this month in May with a lot of changes, and things can appear to be a bit forceful, just like you seem to feel that you're forced to change and you don't have a choice. So what you need to do is to be conscious of the surrounding. Okay, what's changing, what's moving, because you need to adapt fast enough, right, to avoid, I would say, to avoid the bigger tension and pressure. You don't want to only find out things at the last minute. Okay, you want to follow the flow, go with the flow. That's when you don't feel so much under pressure of having to deliver or having to do something which you don't like or you're not comfortable with at the very last minute, given a very short period to do it. Okay, because this one you may actually feel overwhelmed. And if you are not focused, you may end up losing your energy. Okay, where you're just being pulled everywhere. So I would say, well, having a dream is a great start, but if there is no accompanied action, when the action is not aligned with your dream, then it is just as good as a good night dream. And it can be really very tiring, where you don't have something where you feel that you're not getting what you set out for. Okay, so you need to refocus your energy and just be aware of how things are changing. Because when you're aware of how things are changing, you can easily adapt your goal or adapt your dream and reassess that. Okay, so this month, May, for Northeast, it feels like you're closing a chapter to open a new chapter. Just like some of the things that you thought you want to do, you can achieve. But when you open up your sensitivity to what's going on in the world, in the market, to look at the demand, to look at how things have evolved, you may find that some parts of your goals are not realistic. Okay, or some part of your goals is already not justifiable or not valid. So this is where you need to change, right? So for Northeast, you need to experience the unknown in order to embrace the change. So don't block the energy, because when the energy is stagnated, nothing will move. Okay, you need to go with it, experience it. If you see an opportunity, okay, try it first. Try it and then experience it to see if it works for you, if it is something that will help you promote you to your dream or your goal, right? So when you start to experience the unknown, the things that's not familiar to you, do things differently, then this is where you will find, you will learn a lot this month. Okay, and you may ask me why? Because if you see there's a DE in Northeast, there's also a DE in East. So this is how we use DE. We want to tap into the unknown, and to open up DE, you need to experience it. All right, so let's move on to the North. So for North, the theme for North is called participatory observation. It actually means you need to observe through personal experience. And this is very similar to Northeast. But Northeast is more of you need to be aware of the change. Okay, and then go with the change. Okay, you need to change, you need to experience that change. But for North, it is slightly different. That is, there may be things that you don't like. There may be things that you see as too good to be true. Okay, so what participatory observation means, you need to do it, okay, experience it while doing it, and go through that through your personal experience. Then only you can make the right decision. Because this month, it's a month where there would be things that really challenge you. There are bound to be difficult decisions that you need to make. And what unfolds in front of you may not be what you have expected. So you need to learn to adapt and adjust your plan accordingly. Okay. So it's just like this when you experience that rebirth and breaking out of your shell, out of yourself that you have made your prison of, which means like you may be locking yourself up, okay, through some, I don't know, some preperceived ideas, which is stopping you from going out. Okay, in Malay, we have this term called katak bawah tempurung, which means the frog that is underneath that, I'm going to call that the coconut shell. So this is a month where you want to open it up and look out there. What's happening? Try it, experience it so that you can understand that. All right. However, you also need to be aware of negative influences that can distract you from your ultimate goal. So this month is all about balancing the darkness with light. You want to move away from extreme judgment. Okay, bring yourself into the middle, participate in it, and engage with your feeling to see how things turn out and how you adjust to it. All right. So moving on to Northwest. So Northwest, the theme for you is present moment awareness. So what this means is you want to focus on the now and what is necessary. Anything which is not now, I'm going to make that redundant. Okay. As long as you are progressing, what you can do now, what you have in control. If you are progressing with that, you're doing something, then you are succeeding. So you want to make everything else redundant. Just everything else redundant but your goals. Okay. There would be drama. Okay. You will have naysayers. The naysayers will come to you. Oh no, you can't do this and whatever. You're bound to meet all these people, or you are bound to meet with people or circumstances that shows you the failure of things in the unknown. Okay, but that is just a perception. And that is just something which the other person have experienced in their life. It is not your experience. It is their experience. Okay. So for you, you just want to I would say go with things slow and steady, take things easy, but you need to keep moving to experience. Okay. Make a small change, try a little bit of what you can do now, and then see where it brings you next. Okay. Because you can, it's like you need to follow, you need to focus on what is within your control that you can do now. You may want to earn, I don't know, you may want to get to a position, okay, which is up there. You might want to get for a promotion. But at the moment, what you need to ask yourself is there a vacancy in that position? Do you have what it takes to be in that position? How much do you understand about that position? This is where you will start focus on the now. This is where you will start to plan your steps and actions forward. Maybe there's certain skill that you don't have now. That's why you can't exhibit, okay, that potential to your supervisor. So then your immediate action would be learn this skill so that you can apply it in your current work in order for you to showcase your talent to your supervisor to get, I would say, notice. All right. So this is what it means by focusing on being now, present and now. Right? So you want to step out from your autopilot mode, okay, and say, put a bit of pressure on yourself, okay, and adjust to the circumstances. You need pressure to move on, okay. So next, moving on to the West. So the theme for the West is called Non-Egoistic Alertness. So in layman, it actually means like being conscious of on how you are affecting and impacting other people. Okay. So see, a lot of times we may think that we have the talent, but if we can't work with a team, if we can't work with people, our talents are just worthless. It's because it's like, now we are all talking about teamwork. You can't work alone. Okay, you can't be a lone ranger delivering a project. Okay, because there are just so many pieces involved in that piece of project. And also the time that you are given to deliver the project has shortened. So therefore you need to work in a team that brings in different skills and talents. Your talent is just a part of what is required to deliver a product. Okay, so no matter how talented you are, you still need the other bits that comes in to make you complete, right? So there is actually no need to emphasize or enhance anything. There's no need to show that you are better than other people. There's no need to show that you have all that it takes, right? So this is a month where you want to lower your pride and arrogance so that you can allow yourself to see the good in the bad and to see bad in good. So in other words, it's like do what is right and not what is convenient. Okay, sometimes you may be just so egoistic with our own belief that we actually shut off the rest of the things. Okay, so open up, be more aware of your own conduct. Okay. So next in Southwest. So the theme for Southwest is called non-judgmental observation. So you will need to take things as it is without assigning any meaning to it. It is what it is. There is no good, no bad, no right, no wrong. Okay. So for May, there may be some sacrifices that you need to make in order for you to see success. Okay, you may find yourself busy with no sense of achievement. And then things are just not what it seems to be. You will need to train yourself to see beyond the obvious. Okay, and focus on the why, the reason, your purpose, on why are you doing what you're doing. Okay, and not the how, not the what. So a lot of people, we tend to focus on what we are going to do, how we are going to do it, but we never thought of, I would say, very little time that we thought of why are we doing it. So Southwest, this is a month where you want to clear off that why. Ask yourself why, because the energy of this month may make you feel like you are there, but yet you're not quite there, and it can be very demotivating, demoralizing. There seems to be a lot of things that's happening, a lot of chaos that you're encountering, and you can't make sense out of it. Then you may end up spending a lot of energy in trying to analyze what's going on. Okay, why does this happen? Why does that happen? Why it happened to me? And so on. So this is where you will be paralyzed by over-analysis. Okay, so don't waste your energy in analyzing. Just start doing. Okay, I would say stop correcting, start improving. Okay. So next, moving on to South. The theme for the South is called Non-Conceptual Awareness. And this is what it means, that you need to take a step at a time. Sometimes we really don't know what's ahead. Okay, when we think too far into the future, we get worried, and we get worried unnecessarily because we can't see. We don't know what is going to unfold. So this is a month where you want to tell yourself, you need to take the first step, experience what's in the first step. before you know what's the next step. Okay, you want to take a step at a time and experience the events that unfold for you to plan your next step. Okay? So you may find that progress can be slow. So you want to keep an open mind so that you can see possibilities. Okay, the essence here is you need to make your decision work. Okay, so you want to grab the opportunities and work it out step by step, mold yourself and experience your growth. Okay, because small steps leads to big progress, right? If you try to plan beyond your capacity now, the action plans that you put in may not be valid. And also, if you are planning too far into the future, whatever that's happening now, you may not be able to see. And then you may end up into forever planning and you're not making a decision. So this month, for those who have solved in the Destiny Palace, make a decision and take that step in front to learn and to discover what is next for you. So remember, this is a month where you want to make that decision work for you. Okay, and it starts by making a decision, right? So moving on to Southeast here, the theme in Southeast is acceptance. So what it means is allowing yourself to be vulnerable so that you can learn. Okay, this month is going to be interesting for you because the events that unfold will test your resilience. So you want to constantly validate your worries because some of your worries are just not valid. And most probably it is related to your unwillingness to take action. Okay, and you will just have to accept that it is your own doing. You are not getting what you want because you're just not doing what it takes to get what you want, right? And you need to be okay with that. Until you acknowledge your gap, okay, you won't make any adjustment to improve. So acknowledge it and say, it's okay. We are all humans, okay? And this one, you may find yourself in unfamiliar grounds. Maybe some things can get out of control. Well, if you are transforming, this will be the things that will come on to you. Because when you are transforming, you need to allow yourself to explore into the unknown. You need to allow yourself to experience, to get the new experience. But when we are so used to controlling, to taking, to be able to control every circumstances, to be able to know what's future, what's next, and so on. When the unknown come in, when you're thrown into the unfamiliar situations, you will feel that tension. Okay, so allow yourself to flow with it. It's okay. Okay, it's okay to fail. I would say there's actually no failure in life. It's only lesson. If you don't learn the lesson, that's when I call it a failure. Okay? And whether we like it or not. Okay? Whether there will be pleasant moments, there will be unpleasant moments. It's just how you see it. Okay? It's just an experience that we create for ourselves. It's just a meaning that we tell ourselves. Okay, so for Southeast, love yourself more and tell yourself it's okay. Okay, there are ups and downs in life. There are strengths, there are weakness, but it is not for us to fix, but we want to keep going on to improve. So again, it is the same thing. Stop fixing, start improving. Okay, start with the areas that you have control, that you're comfortable with. Okay, when you make that small little change consistently and constantly, you would see that a big thing actually builds up. Okay, Right, next. Next, let's move on to the planets movement. I've actually left the planet movement to the end because I have additional information that I want to share on this. So if you find my information beneficial, do like and share with your friends, with the other Facebook groups and so on, all right? So let's look at 5th May. In 5th May, we have the Sun conjunct Uranus, and this can potentially bring a revolution, or perhaps it just give us a wake-up call. And suddenly we'll feel that, oh, we no longer want to be normal. And we may get this strong drive to say that, come on, just snap that autopilot. Okay, we need to take charge and take control of ourselves. Because the energy of this day, it can actually increase our sense of individuality. So it could be a day where you may just wake up and then you start to ask yourself, actually, who am I? What do I want to be? Okay, you may have that thought and so on. So if that thought comes onto you, write on it and drill into it and seriously ask yourself, who do you want to be? Who do you want to be, okay? It's not what other wants you to be. It's you. Take control, you, right? Then in 10th May, we have a Mercury retrograde. This is when the trickster planet goes into retrograde, and it actually gives us the opportunity to challenge ourselves, to see things from a different perspective. Okay, Mercury is a very fast planet. So when it goes into retrograde, it does slow down some parts of our life, some aspects, okay? And the next one will be 16th of May. 16th of May, we have a total lunar eclipse. Okay, and whenever a lunar eclipse happens, we may feel that something in our life may just like zoom out. Okay, suddenly it used to be very important, but suddenly we feel that it's not important at all. Okay, it's some emotional attachment that we used to be so engaged in, and now suddenly we ask ourselves, why? Why are we wasting time in that? In that thing which doesn't serve me? Okay, so this lunar eclipse, it can bring a non-negotiable change, and it may force us to surrender to some forces at play. So we may feel like we don't have a choice, but we just have to do it. All right. So for May, it's actually a good month to pivot ourselves, okay, to gain that strength, to reposition our stance in preparation for the upcoming month, and also to kickstart the period 9 energy and to gain that comparative advantage. Okay, so start thinking is like, what do you want to do next? Okay, where you want to bring yourself to in period 9. Do you have anything planned out for period 9 for yourself? So with this, I want to get into more details that of the different dates that correlate to the achievement energy, which you all can actually use, okay, for stability or to gain that clarity, right? So let's start with 16th of May. So the square between the Sun and Saturn, okay, with the lunar eclipse, it can actually cause difficulties in maybe professional life. So it may bring some kind of tension. Just let me check my FB Live. Okay, and sometimes we may feel that there's this uncertainty in us that keeps us from shining, okay, at work or bringing out our talents, or it can actually throw us into a sense where when we become overconfident okay, where we don't even care how we are affecting other people with our actions. Okay, and sometimes we may tell ourselves, we just need to persevere, just keep doing the same thing. And this can, I would say, mask off some of the negative traits in us. So we may face limitation or obstacle in life, which can lead us to melancholy. So the most important thing is we actually need to face ourselves, okay? I would say be honest with ourselves. Okay, what is it that we are up to? What is that true feeling in us that we need to address? So on this day, 16th of May, it comes with a feminine energy. So we can actually find things start to happen in the direction which we don't expect, and it can affect our emotions. It can stir up the mood swings. Perhaps sometimes it can bring disappointment as well, right? So from the Partha perspective, the day is not rooted. So in general, we can be easily influenced by the environment, and that can lead us to retaliate for wrong reasons or personal gains. So it can really put a test on our mental strength, okay, as we can be the one that is retaliating, or we may end up to be the one that is taken for a ride. So how it plays out, what are the circumstances? It really calls a lot on grounding. Okay, so if discipline is what you are looking for, right? If that is what you're lacking, you can back northwest, okay, to really contemplate what are the things which you have been missing out, okay, which you are not tough enough on yourself, which you said you would do and you're not doing. Okay, so this would be some, I would say, you can use this timing, use this day to do that thinking and planning, and really slap yourself and wake yourself up to say, hey, that you just can't afford to be complacent. To get things done, you need discipline. You need to be able to do things consistently. Okay, so those with survival mansion in Northwest actually has an added advantage. And this is for the whole day. All right. Whenever throughout the day you have that time for yourself. So you can just back northwest and do some contemplation and seriously slap yourself to wake up. Okay. So if grounding is what you need, then you would want to back southeast, and those with soul mention as added advantage. And if overcoming situations, it's what you're facing now, that means your courage, okay, I would say your ability to solve problem, then you want to back east, okay, to gain that, I would say, extra clarity, okay. If you have growth mentioned in the east, then you have an added advantage. So let's move on to another day, which is 21st of May. 21st of May, we have the moon squaring the Uranus. And during this time, okay, sometimes we may turn out to be headstrong. Okay, maybe eccentric as well. And for some people, when we have the moon squaring the Uranus, they can go fanatic and irritable. So this is the energy that gives us that, mutatable mood, and it can derail us from real thoughts, right? It can also bring intense sensuality, which can lead to separation from partner. When we couple everything, it's like your partner saying, wow, you're going crazy again, right? And not to mention this, the tendencies that we may harm ourselves, okay? So we want to be mindful of this energy, because to some people it will have a big effect. To some other people, you may feel it a bit, but I would say you don't fall into that. All right. So this day it comes with a full yin energy, which may leave you feeling lethargy. Okay, on another way is that the moon square Aquarius, it can stir up a lot of emotions, but on another side, you may feel that it just seems to be sucking your energy away as things are just not going, and maybe you feel like you're stagnated. Okay, it is that uneasy feeling that you go through where you may feel restless. Okay, so from the Parter perspective, we can see that the day master, the Jia day master, is deeply rooted in the year, and also it is seated on the Wu Earth, and it indicates a tendency for us to be standing too strongly on our ground. Okay, and maybe we could be hanging on to things that prohibit our growth, right? So on this day, there are some sections, some sectors over here, some directions, which actually give us some, I would say, the opportunity to overhaul our mindset. So if you need a mindset overhaul, okay, or investigate into what is actually happening in your mind now that's playing out, you can back Southwest. And those with a Destiny Palace in Southwest has added advantage here. And these are for the whole day, yeah? If you need to build your inner strength, okay, then you want to back Southeast. So those with a power mansion has added advantage from this energy, okay? So we want to move on to yet another day. This one is 28th of May. So in 28th of May, we have the Moon and Venus squaring Pluto, right? So this can actually bring somewhat of a dreamy kind of moments with a passive attitude. And there's also a tendency where you can be hypersensitive, where you just somehow can't get into that balance in life. And it may lead to some, I would say, some sense where you are deceiving yourself, which means you're finding excuses, right? When we find excuses, we may end up we may get lost in wishful thinking, which can trigger a sense of a tendency to exaggerate things. So you want to beware of this mood swing, of these traits that may play out, okay? Because we don't want to be reckless in a decision, as we don't want to waste energy, because this consequence of recklessness on 28th May, it can last for months, okay? So this day, it comes with a Fan Yin energy, with stamps and stars in Fan Yin. It does indicate the emotional disturbance, as things are just not what you expected, and this can make you really frustrated. And from Parter perspective, the day is not rooted, okay, and it is countering the month. So this calls for self-control, and this day has, I would say, a very good energy to give us a chance to pivot and reposition. If you need more self-control, you want to back Southwest, and those who have a desire mansion, which is a star 2 mansion, in Southwest, you have an added advantage. So if you are ready to pivot and reposition yourself, then back Northeast. So those with growth mansion has an added advantage over here. Okay? So, who wants to activate your period 9 energy this month and have a head start? Type 9 if you're ready to take it on. No one? No one wants to activate your period 9? Okay, so like I shared earlier, period 9 is a very volatile energy. It is a very fast energy, and it does comes with some risks. Okay, but again, if we look back into people who are successful, who make it big, these are the people who actually take a whole hell lots of risks. but they take calculated risk. Okay, they don't jump in and throw out a big chunk of money for investment without knowing what they are doing. They have precision in what they want to achieve. Okay, so if we see to kickstart period 9, 29th of May has a very strong fire energy in the south. Okay, and how I say, why I say that is, it is not only the strong fire energy, but we also see the combination of the stars. Okay, that can really propel us to our success. So over here, especially this timing between 7 to 8:30 p.m. Okay, in the south sector, we have the 8+9 special combination that help us to anchor our current wealth and also to create the future prosperity, which means we are using what we have now, the resources we have now to pay for the future. And then we see there's an 8-3 combination here, which produces wood. And for the fire to continue burning, we actually need to have wood to fuel the fire. Okay, and then this 8-3, it actually promotes transformation and progressive, I would say, progressive improvement. Okay, and this 8-3 combination, it brings an overall condition, not only for wealth, one thing, but it is everything else in life. Okay, that calls for success, right? But there is a prerequisite here. The prerequisite to activate this energy is you need to already have something that you are doing or in plan for execution, which is relating to a venture in period 9. So do you have that? If you already have that plan, then by all means, try this energy. If you don't have that plan already, and you're just thinking that this energy by this activation is just going to boost up your luck, I would say don't activate this energy. Because if you don't have a clarity of how you're going to use the energy, it may backfire, especially on this day in the south with this specific combo. It is very strong fire energy. Okay, and you need to be really precise and clear with actions. Okay, that is going to push you towards your goal. And you need to have clarity of that goal, what you want. All right. So if you're ready to take this on, you can activate the sector with fire. So you want to select a candle that burns for 2 hours, which is sufficient to kickstart the energy. And don't pick a candle that is too big, because this activation requires the candle to burn until its end, burn until it dies off on its own. Okay, so you don't blow it off halfway, right? So if you have a candle that's very big, then you may have to wait for hours and hours and maybe overnight for it to finish burning. Okay, you just let it burn until the fire dies off. Okay, so if you're up for the challenge, you can activate South too, but if you already have something in mind that you're doing, okay, or you're already doing it, but you may feel that you don't have the strength to really take things on, you can activate South 3. Okay, remember, if you're ready to just go all in South 2. If you're not ready to go all in South 3. Okay. So actually earlier this year, I activated a similar formation, okay, with the intention of getting started with cryptocurrency, which I see an area which I want to venture in for period 9. Okay, and within a month after that activation, I actually did my first consultation accepting crypto. And it's really funny, okay? Because I have someone who actually messaged me and asked me if I accept crypto as an exchange for my consult. I didn't think, I just say yes. And then I add on, but I don't know how. Okay, and we had a very, we'll say very light moment in chatting, and my client actually guide me on how do I open a crypto wallet and how I got started. Okay, like accepting crypto for my consultation. So I just want to tell you now, besides PayPal, I accept crypto. Okay. And after that, I actually met, I would say, I got a mentor. Yeah, I got this mentor who exposes me to more of the world in crypto, okay, on what do people do in that world, right? So if you're interested to know my journey of what I've discovered after the activation, do PM me, okay, message me. I don't want to bore everyone with my story. So I believe some of you would have heard this, the thing called 7-star robbery. So traditionally, 7-star robbery activation, it involves landform, but I stay in a high-rise apartment that does not give me this leverage on landform. So hence I actually experimented on different hacks. And now that I've experienced this, I know how it works, I'm sharing with you all, okay? So if you are interested to learn the hacks of overlapping your flying stars with the 8 mentions, do join me this coming in 2 weeks' time. Okay, this workshop is starting in 2 weeks' time. Chasing the Stars, my 2 days workshop, which starts on 7th of May to 8th of May. This is where I'm going to share what I've discovered, what I've experienced, and also how I'm using Feng Shui, the flying stars, okay, to help me to get improvement in life, right? So this workshop, it's just in time. I would say just in time in May for you all to learn the technique and straight away apply it so that you can write on the stars in the upcoming months, right? Because in the next few months, the external energy will be good to propel us, okay, and also to prepare us for period 9, okay? We have heard about 8 mentions, and often we only focus on, you know, the favorable ones, but the real breakthrough really lies in the unfavorable mentions. So if you're interested to learn all this, sign up for this workshop, okay, you can PM me or message me. And in addition to flying star and 8 mentioned in this workshop, I'll also be explaining the differences of using the sector versus activating the sector, and some secrets on 3, 6, and 9. Okay, we have star 3, star 6, and 9. 3, 3, 6, 9 is a special number. Okay, so if you are ready, pop on in, message me. All right. So just a summary of the workshops that I have. My upcoming workshop in May, which is in 2 weeks' time, is Chasing the Stars with 8 mentioned. And then I also have the Spiritual Path webinar. And the next webinar is on 26th of June. And that is Unlocking Your DE. That means discovering your DE, discovering the potential through the DE. Okay. So if you're interested in any of this, just message me. And also check out my YouTube channel. Subscribe to my channel. It's free anyways. Okay, support me there. And currently I'm working on a series of video on Elon Musk. So do check it out. If you ask me, how many videos am I planning to make on Elon Musk? I can tell you, I don't know. Okay, I will just keep going. So till date, I have 4 ideas in mind, which I can extract from this chart to share with you all. So I'm also seeing more things which I find beneficial, and I will make a video on that. All right. because he is definitely a man whom we can learn from. Being a Jiawood, and you know Jiawood is so difficult to move, but look at his movement, look at the amazing things that he's bringing to this world. All right. So to sum it all up, okay, as we are approaching period 9, things are changing rapidly, whether we like it or not. Hence, it is really crucial for us to train our mind to be flexible and to embrace change. When we are flexible, then we will be able to see possibility because we don't block information. Okay, so here are 5 tips to train your mind flexibility. First one, you want to alter your routine. Do one thing differently every day. Just one thing, one simple thing every day. It can be the way you talk, the way you dress, okay, the way you, maybe the food that you eat, okay, just one different thing, right? And then you want to challenge your morals. Okay, maybe at some time you would think that certain thing is just wrong, no? It is just unethical, it's wrong. No, I can't do that. So now you want to challenge that thoughts of yours. Are you afraid of doing that thing which you think is wrong? Why do you think it's wrong? Why are you not trying it to experience it? Is it because you don't understand enough? All right, so this is a question. And this is how I challenge myself. There are things which I don't believe because I don't understand enough. So when I allow myself to really go into the discover, I spend time over there, it's like, you know, things are just not what I've thought it to be. Okay, that's when my perceptions start to change. That's when the frame of my mind start to shift. And also go out and seek out new experience. Tap into the unknown, okay, things that's unfamiliar to you. Try it because you don't know what you're going to get out of it. And the 4th one is you want to do the difficult things. Because when things are easy to you, you are not spending enough effort, you are not training your mind. It's only when you attempt the difficult things, that's when your mind will start to think, your mind will start to be engaged. Okay? And also find different ways to solve the same problem. There's no one way to solve the problem. When you think that there's only one way to solve the problem, it's just like you're doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. So try that. It's the same problem, but you try different ways. You say be creative. Okay, be creative in your approach, right? Okay, recently in the last month, I've actually received a few, like quite a number of people is asking me about tips to enhance lottery luck. So it's just like, you see, in April, I actually allowed the energy to guide me through to see what I don't see. Okay, and there are certain patterns that I see that's coming to me. And one of it is people asking me about lottery. Okay, how to win big in lottery and so on. But I just want to share this with all of you. The true enhancement in winning a lottery comes when you know how the system works. Okay, it is not as simple as just backing a certain direction or activating certain feng shui energy. Okay, you actually need to understand that system. Okay, so how many of you are interested on the directions and formations that can help you enhance the luck? Okay, at least it's like open up a bit so that it gives you 1%, 10%, or perhaps 15% that additional chances of winning. If you're up for it, type a 9. Okay, only one person. The rest not interested, is it? Okay, let me work out something. okay, in my upcoming webinar, or perhaps in my post, because I would say I don't want to share an activation is just by, oh yeah, because other people do it and you can do it. All right, you can try it. So give me some time to look into, to do some analysis, and I will start sharing. Okay, so let's see what I can work out from there. Yeah. So all right, we have come to the end of the webinar, and next Saturday is 7th of May, is the first Saturday of the month, and we'll have our chit chat session. So I'm actually inviting a special guest to share about mindfulness practice. So do join me next Saturday. And now I'm opening up for questions. Anyone? Questions? Anyone has questions? No questions? Okay, so if there's no question, I will say thank you. Thank you for joining my session today, and I will see you next Saturday. All right, bye.